Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 34. It is Thursday, and we got some stuff going on right now. We've got meetings at work, still on call, and let me see. I'm going to take a look at my calendar right now. I've got 2 meetings today, so that's not too bad. One in the morning, which I will probably have to stop before my first casino for. And then the second one this afternoon as I'm kind of wrapping things up for the day. So that's all okay with me. Yesterday, decent day. I think with everything that I was doing, I made about 1,400, somewhere in there, maybe even 1,500. So that was a good day. We got out of that area before the really bad weather came in, and as it turned out, we were expecting a lot of snow, and it turned out that it was a lot of freezing rain. So glad I wasn't there at that time. This morning it's just under 30 degrees outside, leaving early in the morning, and the roads are still wet, but it seems like they've been treated and they don't seem to be slick at all. It is kind of a windy day today, though, so hopefully we don't run into any slippery roads, and the wind would make it worse. So, yeah, today is going to be one of the longer trips. We're looking at 5 casinos. Sometimes I go on a medium-length trip that has 7 or 8 casinos. Sometimes I go on a longer one that may have less casinos. I do prefer going this direction more, only because they have more tolerant casinos here. Going one of the other directions, the other direction that I could go on Thursday easily. If I go that direction, I have multiple casinos I can play Blackjack at, but they are all very worried about card counters, and they're very low limits compared to this area. So this is the area we're going to. And as I was getting ready to start the podcast, I was thinking about something that happened on Sunday. And there's so many little stories that happen. I think just having a show like that, I think my wife used to watch a show called Vegas or something like that would be about like pit bosses and managers and stuff in Vegas. And it's actually not a bad idea, but from the point of view of a card counter or just a regular patron of a casino, just to see all the different things that go on in there. There was an Indian gentleman, and he was upset. He was waiting to get in on the next shoe, and he was really upset, and he was telling the guy next to me, the guy who really likes to talk to me all the time that I talked about, he was telling him that the casino had broken his privacy, basically, and that his wife that he was divorcing had called the casino and asked questions about how often he gambles and how much he plays and how much he wins and loses, and the casino gave her that information. Can you imagine? If that's not a lawsuit, I don't know what is. But if you're married, nobody has the right to know that information from the point of view of the casino. I mean, the reason that you have your patrons is because they expect their security, and they expect fairness, and they expect their privacy. So you've broken a lot of that by giving that information to somebody. I mean, if I go to the casino and I say, "Is John working today?" they won't even tell me if he's working today, even if this is his shift, even if he's on break, even if this is his table. So they have that much privacy for their dealers, and they're supposed to be there. Now imagine someone who sneaks around and isn't supposed to be in a casino, or maybe doesn't sneak around but doesn't want people to know that he's there. Maybe his church doesn't approve of it, maybe his family doesn't approve of it, and you're breaking that person's trust and giving that information out. I think that's kind of wrong. I mean, but then again, the side of the casinos that we know that they're scumbags, and we know they're thieves, and we know that they'll change a shoe on you sometimes when they know it's a positive count. We know all this stuff. And it's, a lot of the stuff they do is borderline criminal and something that the mob would do. You think that it's reasonable for a casino to change the shoe when they know it's positive? Or do you think that that's more of something that the mob would have done in Vegas? I don't know. This is one of those things that really gets me riled up. But anyway, today is not a terrible day. It's a cloudy day. There's barely a little bit of precipitation, not even enough to use the wipers. But it is below freezing, and we do have to be careful. If I thought there was a big winter storm in the direction that I was going today, one thing that I would do, other than check the weather, would be to check the road conditions. And one way to do that is to go on one of these sites that has world cameras, so that you can actually say, okay, I'm going to Charlotte. What's the weather look like? And you can actually see cameras from the roads. You can see traffic, you can see snow, you can see if it's raining, all that stuff. And I've used that stuff before. So I suggest, if you're going somewhere in Colorado, in wherever that might have snow, might have bad weather, and you're just not sure because you heard it was going to be bad, but the radar shows clear. It might have snowed last night and the roads might be bad. One way to do that would be to look at one of these camera sites and learn a little bit more about what's going on there. Anyway, right now I am on my way to the first casino, getting my laptop set up and everything ready to go, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, closing in on the first casino, and I was able to make up a ton of time on the roads here. I am 12 miles away from my first casino. I've got 15 minutes to get there before my first meeting. However, road conditions have drastically changed in the last 10 minutes. The left lane is all ice now, and hopefully I can just maintain average highway speeds the rest of the way there so that I can be in the casino parking garage when the meeting starts, so it can be a safe place, and I can do my meeting and not have to worry about getting back on the road again. This meeting appears to be a very complex meeting, and I don't remember if it was a half hour or an hour, but hopefully it's only a half hour, but there's a lot to cover in this meeting. So the goal right now is just to continue, hopefully full speed. It's a freaking hour. Darn it. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we can get this thing cut down, but we can maintain highway speeds and take care of that meeting in a timely manner. We can be back on schedule here, and now all the trucks are merging into my lane, which is not good. So anyway, I'll be back with you in a minute. Alright, I think I need to name this episode Rover Bites Me in the Ass. That's what I think I need to do. Let me go over some of the things that happened. First of all, I pull in, I get to a parking spot just in time, because as soon as I got off the highway and got on the road that the casino is on, it was completely covered with snow. All the roads in this area are completely clean, except for this road. The one that the government makes money off this casino, the state, the local, all that, they make money off this casino. The casino makes money off the casino functioning properly, and everybody has a vested interest in people coming here and losing their money, right? That's why when we call gaming, they're not very nice people, and they work for the casinos even though they're supposed to protect us, but they don't do that. So it takes me a few minutes to just to go a short distance to get to the casino. I finally get to a good parking spot, and I start up the meeting, and this guy in this meeting is one of these guys that just wants an excuse to complain. So this guy, out of tens of thousands of vulnerabilities, his group has 268 vulnerabilities. Not a big deal. And he's saying, well, some of these vulnerabilities should not go to us. And I said, well, no problem. Just let me know which ones and why, and I'll create a new rule system, and then I'll go through your vulnerabilities and move them manually, but then the new ones will automatically get sorted. Truth is, the system will automatically move them next time it's run, because it runs every day and it imports every day. But I want to help the guy out, and I'll manually run through the 200 vulnerabilities that he has, and I'll take care of it for him. So, well, I'm not about to do you guys' work. It's your work. No, it's your work. They were assigned to you. You either take care of the vulnerability or you assign it to someone else. I'm giving you the courtesy. I'm saying in the future, we won't route these to you if you tell me the reason why. I'll create a set of rules so they'll be routed to the right place. And he just wanted more and more and more reasons to complain. And it went all the way to the end of the meeting, 1 full hour. And I actually set up another fake meeting right after it. And I said, look, we're a couple minutes over. I got another meeting to go to. And so he's supposedly supposed to send me information so I can take care of these things for him. There are some people, and he said, I've spent 3 days looking at these. You spent 3 days looking at 268 vulnerabilities? That should have taken you like 45 minutes. All you got to do is say, hey, this vulnerability is for this. We don't do that, and then you say, that's 80 of them are that same vulnerability, whatever. Anyway, the problem right now is the roads are bad. Cars around me are covered in snow, which tells me the direction I'm going is all going to be snow. It's slick. It's down to 23 degrees. So I got to just take it easy here. I'm almost out of fuel too. I could probably get to the next city, but then I'm going to have to get some fuel. Probably just get a little bit, and then I will continue my trip, and then once I find a good price, I'll fill it up the rest of the way. So then I go into the casino, and I'm looking around, and I'm not seeing anything, and I'm late. I mean, because of that hour, that really killed me, and I'm not finding anything. I skip over one set of machines I never find anything on, and I continue on to the back. I find one machine that has a play good for one spin. I play that through, make $1.90 on that, and then I hear Joel. I'm like, oh, what? This guy was there, and he's like, his English is terrible. He told me like 9 times about this machine that's in the front that is good, and I didn't understand what he's talking about. So I'm walking to a whole different machine. He's like, no, over here. So I go over there. He shows me the machine, and I'm like, all right, well, technically that's in range. It's at $4 a spin. It's gonna take a while to hit it. So it's good, but at the same time, it may not be that good. And I said, okay, we'll give it a try. And he kind of chuckled because he knows that it's not an easy play. So I have a little bit of free play. I put that in there. And I had taken out a $20 bill for that other play, so I had that. I put 200 more. So now I have 220 of my money plus a little bit of free play in there. And I play it through. It actually hits kind of quick, and it takes me up to $5.55. So now I've got a profit of $330. And so he's like, I just want you to have it because I know you're having a tough time lately. I'm like, okay. I said, how much do you want? And he said, oh, no, come on. How much do you want? I know you want something. You're going to tell everybody that I'm no good if I don't give you something. So let's step back for a second now. So generally, when someone is giving you a play, you are going to negotiate with them first. If it's a play that you know you're going to get a lot of money from, and you can do it morally any way you want to do it. Financially, if it's a play you're going to make a lot of money from, your best bet is to offer them a certain amount of money and to have them leave. If it's an iffy play, then the best way to work it would be a percentage of the profit, if there is a profit, and have that percentage be a low percentage, like 20, maybe 30, but I would prefer like 20. So those are the best ways to do things. Slot hustlers are going to come up to you and ask you for 50% all the time. One thing I do is I ask them, well, how much do you want? Because in my mind, I may want to give them $40 for a play, but in their mind, they're hoping for 20. If they say 20, they're going to get their 20. If they say 60, then I'm going to offer them 40, if that makes sense. In this case, I ended up giving the guy $40. Was it worth 40? I think so. I made $335 on it. So I'm giving him just over 10%. That's not bad. 14, 13%, whatever. So that was good for me, and he was happy with it, so I'm good with that. But just be careful, when you're negotiating, especially when it's a big play, $10 a play, $20 a spin, and you should know what the entry point is, and if it's close to it and it's iffy, that you need to make one decision, and if it's well beyond the entry point and you know you're going to make big money, then you have a different thing that you want to negotiate. So we'll just leave it at that. So I finished that up with him. I stand up from the machine, I look down, I got a text message from my wife. Our dog, both of our dogs, are rescues. The one she was texting me about was the most recent rescue, and he was in a situation where there was over 100 dogs in a house, and the person self-reported and said, I need help to get out of the situation. And they came in, they took the dogs, and he was one of the sickest dogs. And when we got him, I was a little worried because my kids are young, especially my youngest at that time, and I didn't want to see the dog die. Don't want them to get attached to it and then the dog dies. He was missing a lot of his fur. The back of his neck had no fur because he was being bit by other dogs, and it was just a bad situation. He had a skin condition, his teeth were bad, and he was shaking. I mean, he had his tail between his legs for a month before he loosened up a little bit and felt a little bit more safe. So we had always said that these are rescues, and if there's going to be some kind of a health problem and it's going to cost thousands of dollars, that we're not going to do it, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. This dog is like 5 or 6 pounds. It doesn't make a lot of financial sense to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a dog like that. Well, we have a situation, and that is the dog's teeth are so bad and infected, they have to take all the teeth out. They have to put him, they have to knock him out, and then they have to extract these teeth and then fix whatever problem he has. And it's going to be between $900 and $1,000. And never, ever, ever in my life would I have thought of spending that on a dog. I never had pets other than fish growing up, and I never really cared that much about having pets until we got these guys. And so she said, well, I started texting her back, and then she called me, and the first thing she said is, you don't have to buy me any more presents the rest of the year. You don't have to give me anything. I just want you to do this for the dog. And I'm like, man. So we're considering it, and probably will do it. I told her to check to see if there's any clinics that could do it for cheaper, and to see if there's any other people who could do it for less, and we'll see what happens. So, it's easy to say you're going to do something, but when you have people in your family that are attached to it, how much is that worth to you? So we'll see what happens. So that's how the dog bit me in the ass today. Anyway, I ended my session ahead $282 overall, including everything. and I am moving on to the next casino. And there is liquid on the road, there is frozen liquid, some of the lanes are blocked because of the ice, there's trucks splashing water everywhere, keeping your windshield nasty. It's not a very good situation, and I'm an hour behind where I'd like to be at this point, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Right now, my goal is just to get to the next casino safely and to kind of reevaluate the situation, figure out what we're going to do. We're going to play at least one session of blackjack, possibly 2, possibly 3, depending on the weather and the timing, and then I'll come back and update you. I do have some meetings coming up. I thought one of them was this week in town, but as it turns out, it's not until early next week, so that's good. So yeah, right now we're moving on to the next spot, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I am about 10 miles away from my next casino, and the roads have improved slightly, but not terribly. We're only using about 2 lanes of the highway right now due to ice buildup and frozen water drifting like a stream of water that's frozen across the highway and stuff. So not the best situation. But getting close. The clouds are gone, so now it's almost a clear day. So hoping temperature will increase just a little bit, just like 5 or 6 more degrees will get us above freezing, and then you don't have to worry so much about the road conditions. The goal today is going to be at this casino is going to be to take a quick lap of the slots, which will yield me probably 0. Because it's such an overcrowded casino right now with slot hustlers, and then we're going to sit down and play some blackjack. I'm hoping to get 2 blackjack sessions in, and then we'll reevaluate our time frame and figure out if we can do anything else today or not. So that's what's happening right now, and I'll be back to update you real soon. See, it's always a question of what you do when you go into a place and you run into 20 other people who are doing the same thing that you are. It's like, do you just leave, or do you just look harder? Do you like try to find something where nothing is there, or what do you do? So I ended up finding nothing on the slot front, and I did play some blackjack at a lower limit table. And the dealer was actually telling me that they're rotating a lot of the high limit dealers to the low limit because there were so few of them that they trusted that when they were out or sick, they didn't have anybody to work. So they're rotating a few of the lower limit dealers in there so that they can get a little bit of experience in the high limit area. So I did play a low limit table. It was a stay 17 table, so it was pretty good. At least I bought in for 300 and played there for a little while, and then got to a point where I couldn't justify it anymore because it was such a negative count. And I started looking around at machines and saw everybody here, and that's why I bring this up. It's like, you know, if there's 10 different little corners of the casino and you see 20 people there, you know, what are you doing here? So unfortunately, because this used to be really good, but unfortunately right now it's not for any kind of slot machines. So found a couple little vouchers here I'm cashing out right now, and then we're going to move on to another place. I'm hoping to get some blackjack in there, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not, just because they're really not that good on blackjack. If I can find something decent and that's not busy, then I'll probably sit down. Other than that, they do have some okay machines. I can check that out and see if I can make some money doing that. But blackjack, I ended the session. I had 350, and we're moving on to another place. So I will be back with you shortly. Alright guys, I am back. So not too much there. I did find one play on a slot machine, and I played that through and did okay, but other than that, Blackjack wasn't open yet, even though it's late, and I don't understand why it wasn't open, but so I couldn't do that, and looked for other machines, couldn't find anything else. So I did a lot of walking, but not a lot of playing, and I ended my session just up that $110 I made on that machine. So that was it. Now at this point, I've got some issues here because I have to be out of this area in the next hour. And do I really want to go back to the other casino, which is not too far away, and get 30 or 35 minutes of blackjack in, and then I gotta run, and if I miss that time frame to leave, then I get home incredibly late, because then I'll have to do my meeting here, and then that'll waste another hour, and then I'll have to travel to the next place, and then the next place after that, and it would just make it so much later than just being where I need to be. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the next casino. I feel terrible about it, and see what I can do there, and then come back and give you an update, and I'll do my my meeting there. So plus 110, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. My glamorous life that I have, this glamorous life that I lead. I went into this place and I had a meeting starting. Since I left the other city early, I got here early enough to be able to take about 35 minutes to look around, and I found a couple plays, played those through, but there really wasn't much going on. As I am leaving the casino, let me interrupt this broadcast for a minute, and there's heavy snow out here all of a sudden, so beautiful. Anyway, so I play these couple plays out, and I make like $43. I see a couple guys that I know, and you know, one of them's always poor, but kind of knows, but he's so lazy that he'll be sitting at a machine and will not check it. He just wants someone to hand him the information. So, and the other guy is like balls to the wall, like he will play and play and play, and he'll have a good play, he'll make money, he'll lose it all back, then he'll play some more, and then he'll play something that's not an advantage, and he'll win a bunch of money, and he'll get a W2, and then he'll play that back, and it's just like one of these guys that knows what he's doing but can't stop because he has to play nonstop. So anyway, I saw both of those guys, and then I saw this lady, and she looked familiar to me. She looked like she knew what she was doing, but I wasn't positive. And then I had to run to the car. I sat down, got logged in, did all that stuff, took care of some stuff that I have to do for tonight while I was waiting for the meeting to start and during the meeting. And it was supposed to be a half-hour meeting, and it only lasted about 10 minutes. So now I'm kind of mad at myself that I left the other city early, because I could have played some more blackjack if I had known. But really, I mean, I was worried about rush hour, and that's the reason I left that area. I didn't want to be stuck in rush hour, and then by the time I got to this area, it would be dark already, and so anyway. So finished up that meeting and thought, man, it is so early, I'm going to go back in there and make some more money. Even though I've run through the whole place, even though I've seen people in there that know what they're doing, and they've already run out of stuff to play, I went back in and I looked around, and all I found was scripts and scraps, and made a couple bucks off that stuff. And then I played one machine I shouldn't have really played, honestly, and I ended up leaving with another $23. So that brought me up to like plus 65 for that location. Now, while I was talking about this lady, she walks up to me and starts talking to me. She obviously knows I know what I'm doing. And it turns out that her and her husband are the ones that I had, think back, if you're really a fan here, think back maybe 6 months ago, there was a big play on a machine, and I got like 1 or 2 W2s back to back, and the play was still going, and I decided to abandon the play. The lady was sitting next to me, and she said, "Oh, my husband would definitely play that." And I let him play it, and he was down like thousands, like 3 or 4,000 by the time I left. Because if I remember, it was like a $15 or $20 a spin play, maybe even more. So she's talking to me and asking me what I'm doing and stuff, and I just talked to her for a second, and I said, "Hey, are you that person that I explained the situation that one day, and you said your husband would play it?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, I felt really bad. I said I should have left right away, because if he won a lot, I would have felt bad, and he lost a lot, I would have felt bad, but he was buried when I left. And allegedly, she said that he came back and was ahead $100 by the end of it. I don't know if that's true or not, but even if that's true, it wouldn't have been worth it for me to risk that much for that $100. So I think I did the right thing that day. So now let's get back to something we were talking about this morning, and that is the little dog. And I'm gonna have to do this. I mean, let's look around, let's find out what we can do. I guess his canines are both broken, and so infection will continue to get in them, and this would knock him out. Do that surgery to take those out, look at his other teeth, and then if other ones needed to be extracted, those would be included in the price. And then most likely what's going to happen is he's going to end up with just a couple teeth or no teeth at all. And I feel bad, but God has blessed us, and I might not be rich, but we're not poor. We can afford to take care of ourselves and raise our family and all that kind of stuff, and I feel bad. So we will see what we can do about getting the best price for it, but we will take care of the surgery for this dog. So anyway, that's where we are right now. And I have 3 police cars pulling to my right here, and I don't know what they're doing here. They're different agencies, also different government agencies, including Customs and Border Protection, Sheriff's Office, Highway Patrol. So they must be working together on something. I don't know exactly what they're working on, but here's the other thing. I don't know what the speed limit is here, so I feel like they're not going to pull me over, but they're going really slow, and I want to pass them, but I don't know how fast to drive, so we will see. Okay, so the Border Patrol, they're all together, so I don't know, man. What do you do? I don't know the speed limit. I'm doing what I know is at least the speed limit. Oh, he just cut me off. So now I'm going to have one in front of me, one behind me. K9 unit, stay back. Oh, beautiful. So go even slower. Anyway, let's talk here. What did you eat today, MW? Well, so I've been on this diet, and I've had my ups and downs, and I think I overdid it a little bit last night. I mean, I was eating peanut butter with some celery, but I probably had too much peanut butter. But today I went to this place that will grill or cook meat for you on a skewer. You tell them what you want on there, and they'll do it for you. And I got a couple beef skewers, and I got some sides, which includes like this, it's kind of like a bean something, it's cold, and then also something that you've probably never eaten, most of you, and that is dandelion. So dandelion and that stuff. And now there are 4 of these police officers, and I still don't know the speed limit, so I'm in the slow lane, and they're to my left over here. They must be working on some kind of a raid or something together. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, to be honest with you, I only got 1 session of Blackjack in today, and I'm a little guilty about that. I wish I had gotten more in, but I didn't tip them anything, and I didn't tip anyone else anything either. So I tipped $0. So $0 of my kids and my dog's money given to the dealers and the other various people at the casino. And I did make a little bit of credit card money today, a little over $100. And that's probably going to be it for right now. I am definitely going to do more stuff tonight, try to make more money, but that's going to be it for right now. So I'm going to let you go. And right now, just to give you an update, it's 30 degrees. The road is a little bit drier, so things are a little bit better, but not great. And I'm going to catch up with you tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time. Alright guys, as I'm continuing my trip home, looks like everything's going to be good. The temperature's still low, but the roads are kind of clean here. It's amazing. The area that I'm in right now has 0 snow, and the area I was in earlier had about 4 inches of snow. It's crazy. But that's going to be it, I think, for today. Tomorrow is supposed to be a work day. I'll probably sneak out tomorrow and try to get some time in. I think I have a couple meetings tomorrow. I'll work those out. But other than that, I'm going to let you go for now. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.